Rule 11 says, when boats are on the same tack and overlapped, a windward boat shall keep clear of a leeward boat. So what does overlapped mean? Overlap means one boat is clear astern of another, starts out with what is clear astern and clear ahead. One boat is clear astern of another when her hull and equipment in normal position are behind a line abeam, the aftermost point, and the other's hull and equipment in normal position. The other boat is clear ahead. They overlap when neither is clear astern. That's really important when we get later on into upwind, downwind scenarios and buoy room scenarios. If neither boat is clear astern, an overlap exists. However, they also overlap when a boat between them overlaps them both, and these terms always apply to boats on the same tack. They apply to boats on the opposite tack only when Rule 18 applies between them, which is buoy room, or when both boats are sailing more than 90 degrees from the true wind, so downwind, or on a reach. Leeward and windward. Boat's leeward side is the side that when she is head to wind was away from the wind. However, when sailing by the lee or directly downwind, her leeward side is the side on which her mainsail lies. The other side is her windward side. When two boats on the same tack overlap, the one on the leeward of the other is the leeward boat, the other is the windward boat. So let's start out with seeing who's overlapped. So this is a set of boats, and the question is, first of all, who is gray overlapped with? You see that line abeam going over toward yellow. Yellow is clear astern, so there is no overlap. Yellow and blue is fairly obvious. Blue is overlapped with yellow. Same with blue and green. Green is overlapped with yellow. Now the question is green overlapped with yellow? And that answer is yes, because a boat between them overlaps them both. That's blue. So let's take a look at the situation we just talked about, upwind, downwind, and let's look at now if both boats are both on port. First of all, does an overlap exist? This is often confusing because people think of an overlap as being a beam of themselves. Because the words of the definition of overlap say neither boat is clear astern, an overlap exists here. Because neither boat is clear astern of the other. They're both forward of that line. So, let's take a look at what the rule says. Red alleged that she was the leeward boat. Green alleged that she was not required to keep clear. The windward leeward rule says, when boats are on the same tack and overlapped, a windward boat shall keep clear of a leeward boat. So in this case, they are overlapped, and green is the windward boat, and green did not keep clear, so green is penalized. Now let's take a look at another situation here. Boats coming together downwind. Blue's in a puff, going dead downwind. Yellow's trying to get up to the puff. She's sailing a little higher. And yellow says, I'm the leeward boat. Blue, you have to keep clear. Blue says, I never saw you. You've got to hail me and let me know you're there. I don't have to keep clear of you. So let's look at the windward leeward rule. When the boats are on the same tack and overlap, the windward boat shall keep clear of the leeward boat. So in this case, does it say anything about a hail? Absolutely not. Could it have been polite for yellow to say she was there? Absolutely, but there's nothing binding on yellow to say, to determine whether or not you're paying attention as blue. Blue is required to keep a lookout. That doesn't change the right of way. So in this case, blue is the windward boat. Blue did not keep clear. Blue is penalized. Next situation is the starting line. An overlap exists. Yellow is the leeward boat. Blue is the windward boat. So yellow says, I'm the leeward boat. Blue says, I'm entitled to mark room to get around this starting line. It's important that rule is in section C, and we'll talk about this a bunch later, but let's look up the preamble of section C. Section C rules do not apply at a starting mark surrounded by navigable water or its anchor line from the time the boats are approaching the start until they have passed them. So because buoy room is in that section and the preamble has the force of a rule, room doesn't apply here. This is simply a windward leeward. So yellow is not bound by Rule 18 in any way. Blue's the windward boat. Blue did keep clear, and there's no penalty because blue did keep clear and there was no collision. So let's talk about an old rule to forget. We hear the term barging thrown around a lot. That was cut out of the rules in the late 80s. Let's talk a little bit about a fair sailing thing with Rule 11 with windward leeward. This is a world sailing case, and it says, when by deliberate action leeward's crew reaches out and touches windward, which action could have no other intention than to cause windward to break Rule 11, leeward has broken Rule 2, fair sailing. So this is more or less saying you can't mess with your friends, or not your friends. You have to play it fair, and you can't just reach out and touch someone to create a foul. So, recap of Rule 11. When the boats are on the same tack and overlapped, a windward boat shall keep clear of a leeward boat. We have the definition of overlapped, which is neither boat being clear astern, leeward and windward. And what does it mean to keep clear? So, on to Rick for Rule 12.